So the next video is going to be about exercise 56 on page 21. In this exercise, we are still trying to find the equation of a polynomial. In fact, we are dealing with a third order polynomial. I'm calling that polynomial f. So it is third order. That means the function equation looks like this. Highest power of x appearing in the function equation is x to the power of 3. So, since there are no symmetries or whatever involved in this exercise, this means that we are going to need 4 equations. So let's start. What do we know about the polynomial? The first thing we know is that f has a point of inflection on the y-axis. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, this means there's a point on the y-axis and f has a point of inflection there. So a point on the y-axis, what does this mean? Well, this means x-coordinate equals 0. However, we don't know the y-coordinate of that point, so let's say our point is the following one, 0, and y0, and y0 is just the unknown y-coordinate. So f has a point of inflection there, which means that f double prime of 0 is 0. So let's write down f prime. Let's write down f double prime. And now plugging 0 into the second derivative leads to 0, so we get 0 equals 2 times b. And this is my first equation. Okay, so the problem here is I can't continue with this point to generate a second equation. I mean, I know that this point lies on the graph of the function, however I don't know the y-coordinate, and that's the reason why I can't use this point to generate a second equation. So this is all I can do with this first piece of information. Let's continue. What else do we know? The normal in P10 intersects the graph of f in Q3, 4. And it's important to understand what this means. Well, first of all, it means, of course, that this point and this point as well, that both these points lie on the graph of f. Why? Well, this point here, that this point lies on the graph, should be obvious because we are considering the normal there. This point here is a point of intersection of the normal with the graph, and then of course this point lies on the graph as well. So we have 2 points lying on the graph. We can plug both points into the function equation, and this leads to 2 additional equations. First one, by plugging p into the function equation, leads to this. Plugging q into the function equation leads to so we have 2 additional equations. We need one last equation in order to solve the exercise. So what else do we know? We know that these 2 points not only lie on the graph, we also know that they lie on the normal. So the normal is, you know, that is a straight line standing perpendicular on the tangent. So since the normal is a straight line, so with an equation like this, and since we have 2 points lying on that normal, we can find the equation of that normal. So we can plug both points into the function equation and we can solve for m and for q. So this leads to plugging p into the normal equation, plugging q into the normal equation, taking the calculator and solving the system leads to normal equals y equals 2 times x minus 2. This is the equation of the normal. And maybe you're wondering now, what can we do with the equation of the normal? Well, the answer is given by the following fact. There's a relation between the slope of the normal. So this here is the slope of n, and the slope of the tangent. In fact, the slope of the tangent is given by minus 1 over the slope of the normal. So this means the slope of the tangent is given by minus 1 over 2. So, and now this is good, because now we know the slope of the tangent in point P. So this here is the slope of tangent in point P. And this means, since the slope of the tangent is the derivative, that f prime of 1 equals minus 1 over 2. And now we are done, because now I can plug 1 into the first derivative and set the result equal to minus 1 over 2. So minus 1 over 2 equals 3 times a plus 2 times b plus c. And this is it. Because now I have my last equation. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equations. That's enough because I have just 4 unknowns. I can take my calculator and solve. So y equals 1 over 4 times x to the power of 3 minus 5 over 4 times x plus 1. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you've liked it. Bye.